Hey everyone, James here, and I'm coming to you from Holland, Michigan on the western side of the state, and I am excited to be celebrating just this beautiful day in the springtime. The sun is shining, the flowers, the tulips here that Holland is so well known for are in full bloom. It's just a magnificent day. Today also is the 1-year anniversary of the return from my trip across the country that inspired the documentary, What Makes Me. I didn't go out in the impression of wanting to make a documentary. I had been video journaling, going through some real mental health struggles, and following the trip, I decided, why not put this together into a story, into a timeline, and share it, and maybe it'll help someone or open some eyes to the mental health struggles that so many of us have faced. The details of the story may be mine, but the situations aren't uniquely mine alone. A lot of the topics that are covered are relationships, substance abuse, isolation, job satisfaction, just a lot of things that we all struggle with. And one of the big goals of this is to make it clear that you're never alone, that there's always an option for assistance or for help, and I want to make sure that that's available to everyone, and that's where Huda Detroit comes in, right here. It's a great organization in the city of Detroit that provides medical as well as mental health services to those who otherwise wouldn't have access to it. I encourage you to make a donation to them. They're a wonderful organization, or perhaps to an organization in your community that provides similar services as they do. So yeah, so sit back, relax, enjoy this documentary. I'd love to start a conversation. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Please comment on the video. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Love you guys. See ya.
Hey, that's me. Yeah, that little 180-pound, 6'6" speck next to that beautiful giant. I'm James. Come, travel along with me and my little Camaro as we cross the country. This story is so much more than a trip, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly where it all began. The past couple of years have been particularly hard. A global pandemic and world shutdown, failed relationships, a toxic work environment, and coping with my poor mental health the only way I knew how. I had become a shell of myself, questioning everything: my worth, my purpose, my path. This trip marks the beginning of a journey that is more than the 40 days and 40 nights spent out on the road. It's a journey of self-discovery. While traveling, I asked myself, who am I? And who do I want to be? Through the exciting adventures, the people that I met along the way, and the family and friends that have always been there for me, even when I'm not the easiest to be there for. Join me as I work through the past and set out to find what makes me, me. Well, I am standing in my apartment, and this looks like it's going to be my last time here for about 30 days, so I'm excited. I'm going to jump in my car. I'm headed to Salt Lake City to visit Chase, and then I will be, on an adventure for the next month. So the day has come. My car's all packed up, and I've never been more ready. I took a lot of time planning exactly what to bring. A 2012 Camaro may not exactly seem ideal for a cross-country road trip, and yet it is just perfect. Saying goodbye to Detroit and headed out is scary. My trip only has a very general plan, but I trust in the adventure ahead. I am headed to
well, a couple different stops along the way, but I'm headed to Salt Lake City, Utah. I am doing a trip, and I'm spending the next 30 days living remotely. I will be traveling out west, and the adventure is really a little bit undefined, but I'm going to check it out and see what happens. Right now I'm leaving Detroit. It's going to be a beautiful day for a drive. I'm going to probably be spending about 12 hours today in the car, which is it's a lot. But I got my bike, I got my camping gear, I got my hammock, I got all my video gear. I'm pumped. I got my art supplies, so I'll be doing some painting and who knows what else. Yeah, I'm just going to live the adventure for the next 30 days. Whoa, I hit a huge pothole. That was miserable.
Use the left lane to take a slight left turn to merge onto M10 North.
So yeah, so I'm about to hit the freeway here, and the adventure begins.
This first section of the trip has a fairly tight timeline. My goal is to leave my apartment in Midtown Detroit and reach my friend Chase's place in Salt Lake City, Utah in just 2 days. Day 1, I'm cruising through 5 states, covering 800 miles in 12 hours, ending my day in the capital city of the Cornhusker State, Lincoln, Nebraska.
So this might be absolutely crazy, but here is about to come night 1. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. It is rainy, but I'm all settled in. Believe it or not, I can actually lay flat in the back seat of the Camaro. Kind of crazy to think about. But yeah. So night 1's about to come, and I will see you guys in the morning.
Wait, take it back. Pause it. Now, this may be the beginning of the trip, but it's not the start of the story. Let's talk about how I got here. It's February of 2020, and my relationship with my boyfriend had come to an end. I took the breakup hard, but it's nothing that I hadn't been through before. I planned to get myself out there and push through the emotions. I treated myself to some much-deserved pampering and went on a Caribbean vacation with friends. The optimism for working my way through the heartache was short-lived. The news of the coronavirus had gone from being a casual story to our captain announcing that the cruise industry was being shut down. At the time, none of us quite understood what the health crisis would mean, but the urgency and impact quickly became clear. The ship was racing back to Miami so we could disembark. Traveling home, the airport was empty. I've never quite seen anything like it.
We'll get to the impeachment trial in just a moment, but we begin tonight with the growing concern as the toll from that deadly coronavirus now grows, spreading from Wuhan, China, and tonight that first case here in the U.S.
The city of Wuhan is still on lockdown, with Americans trapped inside. U.S. cases of coronavirus more than doubling.
CDC says tonight this situation is evolving rapidly. They do expect to see more cases in the coming days.
The virus has now taken at least 6 lives here in the U.S., and there are at least 100 confirmed cases. The toll growing.
We have yet to hear. We don't know how many cases there are going to be here in the United States. We don't know the impact it'll have on various industries. The only barometer we have right now is the stock market.
While on vacation, the whole world had changed. My retail management job was considered to be essential. I was thankful to still have a job and my health when so many were suffering, but my work environment was hardly ideal.
This morning, major grocery stores working overtime, ramping up staffing to get food and supplies from the warehouse to supermarket shelves. Shortage of toilet paper, hand sanitizers, and soap expanding. In some stores, now freezer sections and fresh meats also cleaned out.
Work had changed. Our staffing was down and our workload was up. At first, the challenges were welcomed. I understood the seriousness of the crisis, and I wanted to do my part to help. Quarantine, that was the real test. Spending my free time alone, I was stuck in a loop of negative thoughts from my breakup, questioning why I wasn't good enough. Quickly, the challenges at work had gone from novel and exciting to stressful and toxic. I tried distracting myself with FaceTime calls, Zoom brunches, and game nights online with friends. I even picked up a few new hobbies, caring for my plants, learning to bake, and trying my hand at painting. But all compounded together, the isolation and loneliness were damaging my mental health. I was trapped in negative thoughts and silencing them with alcohol. As the weather began to change and summer neared, the hope of life going back to normal was realistically just a dream.
Tonight, coronavirus exploding coast to coast. The U.S. adding 1 million new infections in the last week alone.
Hospitals are underwater right now.
The world surpassing 1 million deaths.
The U.S. leads the global death toll.
People should not be excluded from any activities based on their race, their country of origin.
It comes from China.
You're not going to get vaccinated?
No.
You're not going to wear a mask?
No.
You're going to keep doing what you do?
I'm going to live as a free American.
In Lansing right now that some of the protesters have moved from outside where they've been protesting on the lawn this morning and now have gone inside the Capitol building.
Officers conducting a drug raid burst into Taylor's home and shot her 8 times.
In those autopsies, but they both agree that George Floyd was deliberately killed.
What's his name? George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd!
By August, I needed to get away. I had lost out on a promotion at work, so with proper testing and social distancing, I went to visit 2 of my closest friends in Provincetown, Massachusetts. The first day, I met a new guy, amazingly kind, smart, and handsome. We spent time together each day. It was more than just some vacation hookups. It turned into a beautiful vacation romance. So what does this mean from here? I don't really know. I hope someday there's some magic that comes from it, but I don't know. I hope there's some other way to apply value to each other's lives, but I don't know. If nothing else, though, it was the most perfect vacation I've ever had. It was a mind reset that I needed. It was it was so wonderful. If never again do I have the opportunity, I shouldn't say that, back up. It showed me that I can be loved again. It showed me that I mattered. It showed me my importance. It showed me how I could feel. It showed me that I could be loved. It showed me that I could love. In its own perfect way, even if I never talk to this boy again, see him again, hear of him again, I am so grateful for the experience that I had. I am so grateful that that I had the magic. It was the reset I needed. I think it's gonna change a lot of things in my life. I'm not happy in my job. I don't like who I am. I don't like what I've done with who I am. I want to be more. I want to step out. I'm excited. The future's bright. The future's really bright. A little smitten right now. My outlook on life was changing. I had hope for the future and hope for myself. I was emerging from a dark place that I'd fallen into. It was the first time in a long time that I valued myself. My new friend and I continued to talk every day after vacation, from simple good morning texts to deep conversations about life. We made plans for me to visit him in New York City and for him to come spend time with me. It felt so perfect. I didn't think that I could fall for another guy after my last relationship, yet I was falling for him. The world was still in chaos, but at least I had a touch of clarity in my own.
California fighting its third largest fire ever, the Dixie Fire in the Sierra Nevada. Hundreds of homes are gone, 14,000 buildings are threatened. A number of people are now unaccounted for, with firefighters.
The question is, Justice, the radical left. Will you shut up, man?
Meanwhile, Donald Trump, who is poised to run again in 2024, continues his efforts to undermine faith in our democratic system.
President-elect Joe Biden came before cameras with sobering words, saying that this is not a protest, this is an insurrection, a word repeated by former President George W. Bush late today.
Biden, of course, has vowed to bring this country together. He says often that he will be a president for all Americans. But based on what we've seen today, David, uniting this country is going to be just a monumental task.
No question about that.
Early in the new year, I had something to look forward to. I'm headed to Florida to spend a week with the guy that I'm crushing on so hard. We had plans to meet up and spend a few days in South Beach, Miami, before making our way to Tampa. But something changed.
Well, it's not exactly how I expected the rest of this trip to go. So Michael and I have kind of been having some weird moments, some very weird moments. Yeah, so I guess I just dropped him off at his friend's house. And he's gonna let me know if he wants to continue on the trip. So I'm headed to Akil and Deep D's right now to spend a little bit of time, I guess, with them, and we'll see if Michael wants to continue doing what we're doing. I really don't fully grasp what's going on. Basically, since I've seen him, he's been very challenging to talk to, and you've had a few moments of clarity but lots of awkward energy, and I know I want to fix that awkward energy, but not really sure how to do that. So, yeah, well, I guess I will know my answer in a few hours. He said he wants me to call him after dinner, and he'll let me know at that point. So I'm unfortunately preparing for the worst, and the assumption that most likely Michael is going to choose to go somewhere else, stay with someone else, whatever it be, not be with me. And that's, I guess, what I'm prepared for. Let's be honest, it's not the first time. I don't really know what's wrong with me, though, and why I can't keep around. Like, people say I'm so nice and so great and blah, 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 blah. Oh, but I can't be around you. So what the fuck is wrong with me? Am I that clingy? Am I that draining? Am I just that depressing of a person? All the above? I don't know. Anyways, so cheers to that. Yeah. So my face probably tells it all. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I get the same feedback all the time that you're so nice, you're so great, you have so much to offer the world. But I can't be with you. What the fuck am I missing? What is wrong with me? It seems like the more that I give to a boy, the higher the likelihood of it falling apart. I continued alone on the rest of the trip. Just before I was supposed to head back to Detroit, I tested positive for COVID-19. Thankfully, my case was mild, and after quarantine, I then headed back to Detroit. On my first day into work, the first day back, everything culminated and I had a breakdown. I had never experienced anything like this before, a complete loss of control. I took some time to collect myself and decided I needed professional help. I was broken and I was unable to handle it on my own. I was lucky I found an amazing therapist. She met with me multiple times per week while I opened my story to her unedited. She showed compassion even when I shared the parts I had never said out loud before. My troubles were more than just a broken heart or a job. It was a long history of trauma that had brought me to a point where I even fantasized about harming myself. Together, we decided it'd be best if I took time away from work to focus on mending my wounds and find ways to end the damaging negative self-talk and to start to love myself again. I had never asked for help like this before, and I felt shame in doing it. My therapist suggested that I talk to my doctor about starting on a medication to help lift me out of my depression. I've never been a fan of taking medications, and the thought of taking something for depression was even worse. I can fix it myself, right?
I'm different from everyone else. Yeah, why am I like this? Can somebody please tell me? I look in the mirror and what do I see? I don't really know who's looking back at me. I don't even know who I wanna be.
I numbed my thoughts by drowning them in alcohol, and looking back, that was just making me feel worse. Secretly, I was embarrassed to talk to my doctor. My therapist continued to support me and nudge me gently. I realized I wasn't getting better on my own, so finally, I reached out to a new doctor whose office focuses on the queer community.
I need to love myself. I need to love myself. I need to love myself. I need to.
When I explained everything, he didn't react in the way that I feared. There was no judgment or shame. He explained some of the treatment options in a way that made me feel comfortable and optimistic.
No matter how hard I try or what I do, I just can never fucking impress you. So why am I letting what you say get me down? I spent my whole life thinking I was wrong and nobody likes me and it's all my fault. But I'm done with that shit, I finally figured out
Being away from the toxic work environment, I was able to start contemplating where I wanted to go with my life. Looking forward had been hard. For years, my life had been misaligned from who I wanted to be. I had been focused on the past and never believing that I was good enough. In order to move forward, somehow, I needed to learn to love myself. I found a distraction. I decided to pick up a paintbrush and dive into my new hobby. I would start a new piece and almost go into a trance where my brain would shut off and the negative thoughts would fade into the background. I was posting them on Instagram, and to my surprise, the response from those around me was enthusiastically positive. Maybe there's something to this. For months, I had thought about running away, packing up my apartment, moving into my car, and taking off. A crazy fantasy. I had brought it up to my therapist, and her reaction surprised me. From our conversations, she knew I enjoyed backpacking and travel. She supported me. It would be good for me to have a change of scenery and time to focus on where I was going. Nervously, I told my closest family and friends about the plan. They may not have understood living in a car, but they supported me. I had a couple of small trips already on the calendar, so I decided, instead of flying to those destinations, why not pack up my car with all the essentials and head out on a journey.
But yeah, so night one's about to come, and I will see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning. It's the start of day number 2. I am just leaving Lincoln. I got up at about 7 a.m. this morning, and I'm headed west. So far, the trip is going very well, and I'm excited. Yeah.
My drive today is laid back compared to yesterday. I'm skipping off I-80 and taking the scenic byway. As I passed by McConaughey Lake, I took a break from the road, pulling my drone out to capture some video. Yeah. Unfortunately, I managed to get it stuck in a tree. So, I don't really know what exactly I'm going to do here, but so just an update on the drone crashing. My gimbal is not working. So I've been watching some YouTube videos and they've been giving me some different tips. Didn't do anything. I'll be honest, I think it might be toast, but I mean, in a hope of trying to save $1,000 of buying a new one, I'm gonna try to fix it. All right, so I'm gonna try turning this on without the bottom case on. Damn. So see, it's supposed to, when it does that, also rotate this way.
that way. So.
Well, I wasn't able to fix the gimbal on my drone. After searching around online though, I was able to locate a new one that I could pick up when I arrive in Salt Lake City. Today may have had a little setback, but how can I be mad with a beautiful sunset like this?
Well, good morning. It's day 3. It is 9:27 Eastern time, about what would that be, 7:30-ish Mountain Time. I am in Wyoming right now. It is a beautiful morning, blue skies. I can see the snow-capped mountains off in the distance. The sun is rising behind me, and we're on our way.
I arrived in Salt Lake City, Utah, and caught up with Chase. After some hiking and exploring around the city, we acquired a convertible and headed out to the Bonneville Salt Flats. 30,000 acres of hard white salt on the edges of the Great Salt Lake Basin. At one time, Lake Bonneville covered 2/3 of Utah and was more than 1,000 feet deep. Today, during the cooler months, groundwater floods the salt flats from a shallow aquifer. In the spring and warmer months where temperatures can easily reach 114 degrees, it quickly evaporates, leaving this playground. For 100 years, top speed junkies have been setting world land speed records here on the flats. Now, we didn't set any records, but we were featured in a music video. My weekend in Salt Lake City went beyond my expectations. Clearing my mind, I hiked to the top of Living Room Trail and watched the sunset beyond the horizon.
And then all of a sudden, you can start to feel all the change, feel the temperature change. That was the first thing. And then you can start to see the rocks changing colors. And then as you looked across, you'd see the changes happen with the light out there. And like it would like roll across. It was gorgeous. It was just so good to just sit and be there in space. It was beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Go out there, sit, be mindful. Just be there. Like, just enjoy it.
Look in your heart now, it's look in your soul.
I'm so grateful. I reached out and to a friend of mine who recommended a therapist for me, and this therapist has been great. She's really just allowed me to talk about myself and what I'm going through, and she gives context and helps to educate me on how my mind works, and what's important. And she also told me, those thoughts of hurting yourself, she said you have to think of them as like error messages. Your brain just can't compute, and it just errors. It doesn't know how to deal with it. And that's how you have to think about it, is it's just like, an error message popping up on your phone or on a computer or whatever. It's not real. Your brain just doesn't know how to process what it's going through, and that's for whatever reason how it expresses that error. And I kind of like that, because it's funny now that I've started this trip and I'm on day, what is this? Today's day 7. Yeah, 1 week down. Whoop whoop. We're on day 7, and I'm not having any of those error messages. I'm actually happy. Like the happiest I've been, I think maybe ever. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm being myself right now. 100%. I mean, it's been 7 days, and everything that I've needed has been in this car. It's amazing. Had a couple great adventures already. So yeah. Well, this town's super cute. This Cascade town. It's adorable. So yeah. So that's why I'm on this trip. Find myself. To reset myself. So far, it seems to be working.
I used to worry myself all the time. Hardly a day would pass that I could handle life on my own. There I was, constantly looking at my phone. My room was always a mess, reflecting my life. On the floor, shoes and socks and ties, probably the product of stress. So I quit my job. Now my life is magic. I used to think I want money and fame, but when the time runs out in the hourglass of love, you'll be thinking about earlier days when we were speckles in the hourglass of love. And I don't wanna be left in the cold 'cause of something dumb like paper money. I just wanna be loved. So keep yourself on the ground, 'cause we are speckles in the hourglass of love. Just keep yourself on the ground, so that one day soon you won't be lonely. And if he really loves you, then you know about the hourglass of love. No need to worry yourself, it's alright. Somehow I know you'll be just fine. And in the shadow of doubt, just have hope. Soon when the sun breaks up the clouds, someone will light up your day. And when it is time for us to part our ways and go, just give my number a dial. When there are tears in your eyes, now you can never be alone. I used to think I want money and fame, but when the time runs out in the hourglass of love, I'll be thinking about earlier days when we were speckles in the hourglass
I am on my way to Mount St. Helen. It is just right up here. I'm just seeing my first glimpses of it right now, and it's wow. Wow.
Keep yourself on the ground, 'cause we are speckles in the hourglass of love. Just keep yourself on the ground.
So it's a beautiful hike here. It's a gorgeous day. There's like no one on the trail. I've only seen a couple other people. This is I think it's called Humlock Trail, and it's gorgeous. It's about a 10-mile out and back, so 4 or 5 miles out, 5 miles back. It's beautiful here, all in the shadow of Mount St. Helen. I just really can't describe how beautiful this country is. Like, it's gorgeous, man. Like, wow. Get out there and enjoy it, man. Love it.
And if he really loves you, then you know about the hourglass of love.
Well, good morning. Oof. It is 7 a.m. I am in Toledo, Washington, not too far from Mount St. Helen. Pretty good night of sleep. I did park on a weird hill, which was a bad move. So my feet are kind of higher than my head. I don't know. So it wasn't the best night that I've had, but it was good. It's kind of chilly. I kind of like it. My down sleeping bag is doing pretty good. Portland, and I'm sitting in the park. I just did some painting today, but it's pretty cool. time for me to tell myself how special I am and to live my best life. It's exciting.
And the cosmic clock.
Well, on this trip, I've had a lot of time to think, and I'm realizing a lot about myself for the very first time. When you grow up queer and in the Catholic Church, you tend to play it safe. I had built a version of myself, and people called that version me. The traumas I faced growing up are real, and I'm only just starting to understand and deal with them. Much of my childhood was in an unhappy home, and I'm beginning to understand how that affected me and how I can change those behaviors. Leading up to this trip, I stepped away from my family. I don't fully understand why. I know they've always been there for me and loved me the best they knew how. It just felt right. I'm working towards understanding those relationships, and one day I'll reconnect. Growing up, I repressed more than just my sexuality. I often pretended I wanted things I didn't and denied enjoying things that I actually did. I craved love from other people instead of loving myself. I chased dreams that were not really mine, and I created a man that was not actually me. When I came out, I not only lost friends, but I was also pushed out of my job. For years, I hid what I was going through. I got pretty good at it. From the outside, my life looked happy, when in reality, I was struggling inside. In January, I hit a new low. It led me to reach out for the help that I needed. And finally, I'm realizing that I can take my journey into my own hands, blaze my own path, discover who I want to be, and hopefully, I'll find what makes me happy. I think this is very true in life. You'll never regret the things you do, but you often will regret the things you didn't. And there are some things you can go back and like I'm kind of doing now. And yeah, I went the wrong direction. I realized that was not my direction, and now I'm changing it. So that's beautiful. Not every chance we get to do that though. Like, what happens if I'd had like an injury or something that prevented me from doing it? Like, that's entirely possible. So, yeah, get out there and do it. Live every day like you're on vacation, man. It's too short. Like, I'm not gonna waste
the next solid 30 years of my life doing things that don't make me happy, just so that way I can be marginally like comfortable when I'm 60. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. I'd rather live and enjoy this moment now and these moments coming as long as I can, but knowing that I'd live my life, it's way more important, man. It's way more important. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna live my life. It's been about 10-mile hike / jog. It's beautiful. Whew. All right, I got a digital logbook, so I'm gonna sign that, I guess, and then be on my way. Whew. Beautiful day. Sweaty. Ugh. Yuck. Remember, live every day like you're on vacation. See ya. Well, I'm getting a bit hungry. Yeah, I've been doing a mix of like eating like yeah, so I've been able to get some I made like some soups, I made some stuff like that, a lot of like peanut butter and jellies. I've been eating a lot of fruit, a lot of just like kind of like chill stuff, protein bars. I made soup a couple of times, which was good. I've gone out to eat a couple of times. I had a really nice dinner at Mystique in San Francisco. I actually really liked it. It was kind of weird and like zany because it was like super family run, but it was super cute. And yeah, so, but anyway, so I think I'm gonna go and just have some ramen tonight. So yeah, eat that up. A lot of fun though today. Beautiful views. Flowers were amazing. Alright guys, well I'm gonna turn around and watch the view. Live every day like you're on vacation. See ya.
I see that the leaves are changing, so why are we all the same then? I feel like the whole damn thing can use some rearranging. So I'm gonna walk outside and search for the perfect life. Spontaneity will be my guide into things that are new and exciting. Let go of what I've been fighting and let my mind just do the driving. We can change our lives just a little at a time. I'ma throw my map away, I'ma just be free today. So I'ma start changing mine. I see that the snow is falling.
So I'm rolling here in Santa Monica. It is beautiful. The sun is on its way down, but it's a little bit chilly, so even in the under quilt for the hammock.
I'm gonna chase my dreams my way, do something that's extreme, like jump to the sea or go mountain climbing. And climb it to the top until the sun just gets too hot. We can change our lives just a little at a time.
Well, I'm excited to say that I'm here in Laguna Beach. It's a little rainy today, but it is beautiful. I just rolled over 5,000 miles on this trip with my beautiful Camaro here. As I said, I'm in Laguna Beach. A little overcast, not exactly the prettiest day ever, but yeah.
Follow the sun, I move with the wind. So that when it's done, I don't regret anything. We only get one, so make it worth your while. So at the end of the day, you'll be leaving with a smile. Try feeling good while doing something new. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
So, San Diego's been a fun few days. I stayed here at the Pacific Beach Hostel. Super cute. It was fun. It's my last beach day of the trip. So, that's a mixed bag of exciting and unexciting, but yeah, so like it's really cool. Pacific Beach right there, and then like, yeah, like the location is ideal, so highly recommend it. A lot of fun, really cool people, interesting life stories, and I think that's actually probably one of the things I want to come back and do this again, but spend longer. The people are just, all their stories are so interesting. I was talking to this one guy today, and the conversation went about like his writing that he does, and like I just think a lot of the people that live this lifestyle are probably having a lot of the same things that I have. But like I think there's a ton of good people, man. And they're just like, they're just trying to find their way. And they found their way to a beach, man. It's cool. Good story. Something good, and I want to explore it. Hey, so I am headed to Palm Springs right now from San Diego. Just left the Pacific Beach hostel. It was such a great experience. I'm so glad that I hung out there for a while. Got to meet some cool people, had some great conversations. Yeah, just got to like hang out, and it was chill. So I'll be curious to see like how different Palm Springs feels to PB. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a big difference. Hey, I'm here on the edges of California here, out in the middle of the desert, yeah, so just came across directions. Apparently lots of people have been on trips and journeys, vacations. So where I'm standing right now, I'm 2,192 miles away from Detroit, and I guess this is the official start of my journey back to home. Yeah. Good morning, it's about 5:30. I'm here at Fred's, famous truck stop and brothel. Today is my official start of Route 66, my way back to Detroit. So I'm going to try to exclusively drive Route 66 all the way back, stop along the way. So super excited, and yeah, the adventure begins. So I decided to make a quick stop to the Grand Canyon. So I'm just wrapping up my day here at the Grand Canyon. It was really cool. I met this really wonderful woman, Bridget, and she actually saw me climbing around and chose to help me out and take some pictures for me and then send them to me. So they're like epic photos too. She did a great job, so I'm super excited. It's amazing, like the kindness and generosity just of complete strangers. Like she didn't have to do that, and then so because of where I was hiking, like she waited almost 15 minutes for me to climb back to her without me even knowing she did this, and then gave me the photos. So yeah, just really cool. So super nice lady. She's from Georgia. Her and her husband are just kind of traveling around. So yeah, anyways, this elevation's killing me. I did a self-portrait of myself. Most depressing spot in my life was that moment. But it was also the spark to what would become and what is yet to be. I'm only a short way into this. I only started really focusing on trying to help myself in the last, hasn't even been, what, it was mid-February? I think it was February 10th is when I took the first day off work in order to focus on my mental health. I got a long way to go, but if I can make this kind of progress in 4 months, imagine me in 6 months, 8 months. Imagine me in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years. I'm literally like on the verge of a tear dropping. Like, it makes me so, shifting and driving is hard, kind of ruining the moment. It makes me so incredibly happy to know that I can be happy and that I can have happiness forever. Like, it doesn't have to end. There isn't an expiration date on it. I don't have to go back to life being shitty.
It's been a while, but I'm coming out of my shell. And I never thought I would fall in love with someone just like you. And nobody here now, I hear you calling out, I hear you calling out for love. And nobody here now, but I hear you calling out, I hear you calling out for love. And I hear you calling.
So I'm trying to follow Route 66 as authentically as possible, but sometimes the road gets a little bit rough. I suppose that's a good metaphor for life, though, about the road being a little rough at some points in time. But yeah, so this is Cuervo Classic 66. So I'm guessing if we look at the history books, this probably was part of Route 66 pre-1938. 1938 is when Route 66 was paved in entirety, and then in 1985, Route 66 was actually decommissioned. So I have a feeling that this is like a pre-1938 route. So it might take a little while for me to get past this. It's a pretty rough road, pretty washboarded.
So now I'm kind of between Tulsa and Oklahoma City. I'm headed further down Route 66, so I'm not sure again today where my destination is, but I guess I will start cruising along and take a look at the map and kind of see where I want to stop today. I am here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, actually riding my bike right now along Detroit Street. Just got done with an amazing tour of the architecture. Tulsa has quite an amazing Art Deco scene. It's kind of funny. I think the only thing that I really knew about Tulsa was from the Friends episodes when Chandler moved to Tulsa. And yeah, so learned a lot more about today. Just randomly stopped to get coffee, and this guy Jeff has a tour company, and he took me along a bike tour, and so he showed me all of like the great examples of Art Deco from the early turn of the century, and it was just absolutely, it was awesome. Like, I had no idea that this town had quite so much to offer. So I'm here at the Gateway Arch in St. Louis. I found a very relaxing spot to hang out and just enjoy, you know, admiring like the engineering and like the construction that went into this, and then kind of also thinking about like my own like Gateway journey, like how far I've come in the last, you know, bit of time, and you know what led me to the dark spot that I was in and what has brought me to this bright spot. And
you know, sometimes you just gotta like go out on the journey and do it, make it happen. Sometimes in our lives we can have those journeys that, you know, maybe we're not physically gonna go ahead and traverse the country, but maybe we have a journey we're going on in our mind, or you know, deciding that you want to go after your arts or whatever your dreams are, whatever that journey is. Making those first steps can be so hard, and sometimes we need to be invited to do it. And I was so grateful for all the people who encouraged me to do this trip. And you know, some people thought it was crazy. So at this point, like, I'm kind of beginning to wind down my trip, or have begun to, and my trip will probably come to a close here, you know, either Sunday or Monday. At least this first portion of it, but like, right, like life's a journey, so it's gonna keep going. Where I've come out of it is such a beautiful place that I really can't imagine having done it any other way, or having not done it, or having waited. So anyways, I'm gonna just enjoy this. I'm gonna go get a coffee here in a little bit, I think. Enjoy the morning. It's just a gorgeous day. So I love you, and I love myself. Have a great day. Well, I guess it's kind of like home sweet home. It feels weird walking into this building. It doesn't really feel like my building. It doesn't really feel like my home. It just feels like a place where my stuff's at.
Why is it so hard to just be myself? I feel like I'm different from everyone
My stuff's all
else.
still
Why
there.
am I like this? Can somebody please tell me? I look in the mirror and what do I see? I don't really know who's looking back at me. I don't even know who I wanna be. I don't need to know who I am yet, and I don't need to have a solid plan yet. I don't need to be the same as everyone else. I just need to motherfucking love myself. I need to 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 love myself before I love anyone else.
I mean, they definitely are on the struggle bus. Look at this guy. He's like thriving. I mean, there's a whole like new shoot. Okay, the succulents are fine. Succulents.
No matter how hard I try or what I do, I just can never fucking impress you. So why am I letting what you say get me down? I spent my whole life thinking I was wrong, and nobody likes me and it's all my fault. But I'm done with that shit, I finally figured out I don't need to be the same as everyone else. I just need to motherfucking love myself. I need to 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 love myself before I love anyone else. I need to love myself. I need to love myself. I need to love myself. I need to love myself before I love anyone else. People are constantly judging and lying and plotting and lying, so why am I trying? All gonna talk shit anyway. All gonna say what they wanna say. Hey, all gonna say what they wanna say. Anyway, that's why I need to love myself. I need to love myself. I need to love myself. I need to love